Well, good evening, laddies, lasses, and lasses. Welcome to the click. You smell astounding today. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Tell you what, today, for this special episode, we have a guest. Do you want to say hello to the lovely squad fam at home?
Oh my god, hello there guys, my name is Stoner, and I'm so happy to be
Thank you, Stoner. Wow, isn't that great? Great little guess. I have no friends. Anyway, well, laddies, lasses, and lassos, today we are going to look at r/FacePalm, an absolutely amazing, subreddit. And don't forget, oh my god, Mungo is back in action. Yes, indeed. Get yourself a nice little Mungo. Link in the description. Do not forget it. And make Stoner sad.
Oh my god, you got him so sad.
Thank you. Great. Some guy on YouTube. You can easily build your own furniture for less than 50 bucks. His garage. Oh my god. Next episode will teach you how to build a TV for $20. All you need is this laser space 3D printer. Oh gee, what a life hack. I mean, even if I don't have the tools myself, I sometimes enjoy watching these kind of videos just because it's cool to see what you can do with a bit of craftsmanship, you know? Parents.
Kids are more depressed these days. I wonder why.
Kids, you destroy the economy for us. The earth is literally dying. We are going to work until we die. And on top of that, the Nazis are back. Parents.
It's those pesky iPhones. You see, if you were literally completely disconnected from the world and you lived under a rock,
you wouldn't know that the world is going to poo. Life hack. Lock yourself in a basement and you won't realize how bad the world is. Hell yeah.
See what happens when you stay on the grind. Quirky emoji. I stayed in the gym and then I flexed my butt in the mirror.
Did your door hit the gym too? Oh no! Zoom in on that bad boy on the right. That's a bit of a Photoshop there, if I may say so myself. Or the thickness is so extreme that it's literally bending space-time. Wow. Couple unable to have children has intercourse in the middle of an evangelical worship service to receive God's blessing.
Oh my god, you guys, I literally cannot have...
Thank you, Stoner, for your input. We all agree.
My boomer boss today was talking about how she worked her butt off to graduate from college with no debt. I asked her how much her tuition was. She said
$750 a semester. Wait, so her entire student loan was like 3,000 bucks. You pay that back in like a month. What? Oh my god, I worked my butt off for like 3 weeks to pay back my student loans. Oh my god, I don't know what you kids are complaining about. Oh, the pain. Alright, so he's coming into the room of like an elderly person and just casually stealing some money. Okay, that's not very nice. And then just casually realizing there's a camera, like, oh my god, it fell into my pocket. Oh no. Oh, what a shame. Oh yes. It's both scummy and stupid. Why didn't you look for a camera before stealing stuff? And when you're caught on camera, you can't just put it back and make it go away. Then you can at least try to fake it, like, oh, I was just taking this because she wanted to buy some snacks and I was assisting. It's like, you can make up a lie at least. This is like both scummy and stupid, which maybe is a good thing because then they actually get caught. I am not pro-life or pro-choice. I am pro-education because I have a brain. Teach people about birth control cycles, the impact a child have, and teach about the pros and cons of having a baby and abortion. At the same time, neither is easy. Let women decide, but at least make it an informed choice. That is pro-choice, dumb butt. It's literally what it is. They do have a point, though. The smexiest thing of all is knowledge, which they sadly do not have about this topic, it seems, but knowledge is smexy.
My friend didn't reply to her man for 2 weeks and told me that you gotta give them time to miss you, and now he's got a new girl, LMFAO.
What did you think was gonna happen? My god! I mean, at that point, you would just assume that the person has ghosted you, right? As, oh, it's not a very classy breakup. I'm just gonna move on to the next person. Were they even, like, in a super serious relationship? Or were you just, like, dating and you didn't reply for 2 weeks and you're shocked someone moves on? Wow, the strats!
You think Jews control the country?
Yeah, they control the country.
Oh, interesting.
All right.
They control Wall Street, they control the banks, they control Hollywood.
Okay.
Every building in New York City is owned by Jews.
He's going into some questionable rhetoric.
Hey,
Close.
I'm Jewish.
I don't give a
You gotta get out of here. I control everything. You gotta go. You gotta go. I'm Jewish. But I control everything, so you gotta go. You gotta go.
So good. And
So
wait,
there
he
you
actually
have it.
does
Just
it?
control everything. I was able to clear the square there. I just commanded him to leave, and he left.
I mean, I suppose if he stayed, he would have contradicted his own point, right? But that is so funny. Oh my god, it's so funny. Hey, I'm Jewish, you have to leave. What? No! Okay. Ah, yes, indeed.
This is Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter's girlfriend. Now, what do you see?
Look at that couple. Readers added context they thought people might want to know. Erin Dark falsely implied her to be transgender, is currently pregnant with her first child. They can always tell. Obviously. Another thing that is so hilarious with transphobes trying so hard to be transphobic online is when they try to misgender someone, but they don't actually know what they're doing, so they misgender them correctly. Yeah, God. Debating free school lunch for low-income kids, North Dakota State Senator Mike says families are to blame for their hunger.
It's really the problem of parents being negligent with their kids if their kids are choosing to eat in the first place.
The bill died. 23-24? That is so close. Oh my god. Silly kids, can't they just try to, I don't know, not eat? What's the problem? Oh, little bit of starvation never hurt anybody.
Jesus Christ, what the frick happened to Star Wars? George Lucas must be turning in his grave.
Readers added context they thought people might want to know. George Lucas is 78 years old and still alive. Yeah, the argument about rolling in your grave falls a little bit flat when the person is still alive.
Oh, George Lucas would be so sad if he was here. Oh no.
Fact about Ashley, she loves Jesus.
Aww. Oh, they have so much in common.
There's nothing better than a good smoked Gouda.
A what?
Smoked Gouda?
What's that?
Cheese? Is that not what he said?
I love Jesus, not cheese.
Oh.
Oh, that is amazing, though. I would love myself a sermon with a bit of cheddar, though. That'd be, oh yes, indeed. Daily Caller. Millennials are so helpless, they're taking adulting classes to learn how to do things like sew a button. Ah, you have a few typos. I fixed it. Millennials are so motivated, they're taking classes to learn the skills older generations failed to teach them.
There is no more clear sign of a pathetic, insecure individual than mocking people who are working to improve themselves.
That's so weird. Look at these people taking classes to learn things. Disgustingly incompetent.
Oh my god, how can you just not
know everything by default? That would be much easier, though. Imagine if it wasn't the Matrix and you can just plug in a USB into your brain and you just learn stuff. That'd be so nice. Future of education.
Women don't look at someone and think I'd like to frick that person. Men do.
What? It is true. Also, women can't pee because, as everyone knows, pee is stored in the balls. Yes, so for a woman to pee, they have to be with a man first, so it can transfer from the balls to the woman, and then they go to the bathroom. So if a woman is not with a man for enough time, they explode because they're unable to go to the bathroom. Follow me for more biomolology tips. U.S. citizen bill on their heart transplant. Payment options: pay in full $227,000, or the payment plan, only like 3.7K for 60 months? That's 5 years, so you're supposed to pay basically your entire salary before tax for 5 years? How is this supposed to work in practice? Like, what? Dallas police refused to open a case for a child who went missing after using the restroom at a Mavericks game, citing Texas code dictating missing juveniles are investigated as runaways unless there are circumstances which appear blah blah blah.
If your daughter is kidnapped in Texas, tell the police you're reporting her for seeking an abortion. Perhaps they will take it seriously if they think the life of an embryo is in danger.
Honestly, yeah, at this point I wouldn't be surprised if that's like a higher priority for them. It's kind of wild.
POV, you wanna dance on Charles Bridge in Prague, but there's too many crossing camera walkers.
You mean because it's like a super popular bridge in a very public area? I mean, they're just trying to wave people to the side. I mean, if it's this difficult, either number one, go later in the day when it's past rush hour, right? Or number two, don't.
The inventors of insulin sold a patent for $1. A vial costs about $5 to make. Yet people with diabetes are dying because drug corporations charge as much as $540 per vial in the United States. That level of greed is criminal. It will end when we are in the White House.
At Bernie Sanders, if it is $540, do not buy. I do not understand what the problem is. You see, It's the same as with those pesky school children who don't want to starve. Just don't eat them. It's so easy. What? You need insulin? Don't be silly. It's not like your life depends on it. So stupid.
If your parents approve of your marriage but your grandparents and uncles didn't, would you still get married?
Might as well ask the postman too if I'm taking everyone's opinion. Yeah, I think at some point it's like, sure, it's nice if family members get along, right? But at some point, like, you just have to do what you want, right? Come on. Review of All Quiet on the Western Front.
1 star. This film is disgusting with its promotion of Nazi propaganda.
Wrong war, lady.
It attempts to humanize the vile creatures that terrorize the world in the 20th century and tries to get us to view them as the good guys. Films like this are the reason why we have such huge resurgence of fascist ideology in recent times.
29 people found this helpful? Come on. Come on. Oh my god. You literally watched a movie about the First World War without realizing which war you were actually watching a movie of? Are you... What? I mean, one point of the film is to show how gritty it is for the common soldier compared to the propaganda that was being pushed in the cities and to young men at the time. So in that way, this movie is very much anti-war because it shows the difference between the propaganda and reality, which I think is a very important argument to make. And considering this review didn't even get the facts right about which war it's even about, pass. Okay, so this is supposed to be a magic trick. So I'm guessing the can is supposed to disappear. Oh no, what is going on there to the side? This is very distracting indeed. Oh my god. Ah, alright, well glad that's over. Let's check the magic trick again. Oh no. Ah, it worked. My god. Ah. There is a really funny experiment about this kind of stuff that you get taught in some courses. Spoiler if you're going to one of those courses, it's very fun. It's basically a bunch of people bouncing basketballs and stuff, and it's like count how many times they bounce the basketball, right? And your brain is super focused on the basketball, and then they ask you, okay, did you notice the gorilla walking in the background? And you're like, what are you talking about? What gorilla? But because your mind was so focused on the bouncing basketball, you didn't even notice the thing in the background. And it legitimately is a dude in a gorilla costume just walking past and dancing in the background. It's really funny how our brain focuses on certain things. And this is actually what they use in a lot of actual magic tricks as well. Perhaps not this obvious, but you know, it's still kind of funny. I like it. It's a good parody. Sona. I don't know why, but I love your name. It's super unique.
I need 5.5 inch or more. Longer does not get any way more points as you hit my pelvis at 5.5. Need a pic of with measurements, with paper with your name next to it or your face. Once verified, let's do a video call right after to confirm you are not a catfish. I get 500 likes every day. If you don't agree within then move on, I could care less.
Sorry, I only break out the yardstick for 750 plus like a day or more. This sounds like a scammer. They just want a pic of you nude and then it can be like, oh my god, pay me something or I will send this to your contacts. I got once on Facebook. I was single for the first time in a long time, drunk and bored. A perfect storm. All of a sudden, this hot chick hits me up talking about how I'm cute and asked if I'd be down for some cam fun. My drunk butt is like, oh yeah, I'm about to jump in the shower anyway, let's do this. So I undress, stumble into the shower, and she takes her top off. I get down to business, and all of a sudden her feed cuts. And I am now watching a video myself doing the dirties, and in the next moment I get a message with threats of exploiting requests for money, or every one of my friends list will be sent this video. At the time, 400 plus people. I played it off that I was in the adult film industry, and that everyone I know has already seen me naked, emphasized how I know Shane told her to frick off, and that I'm reporting her to the police. Long story short, nothing ever came of it on her end or the police. Yeah, that's typically how it goes with online scams. I think if this ever happened to me as a YouTuber, I would just use it as an excuse to launch like an OnlyFans, and then cash in for a month, and then just move on with my life. Life hacks! And now people are gonna think that if something like that happens, it's gonna be like, oh my god, it was on purpose, this is all planned. What a conspiracy. College tennis player suspended after telling black opponent, at least I know my dad, during match. He said, at least I know my dad to a man named John Wilson IV. Racists are the dumbest people on the planet. It would be the same thing as someone named Junior. Like, oh my god, at least I know my dad. Like, what?
I wish I lived in a city where I didn't need a car.
Move to Europe. Plenty of cities you can live without owning a car.
Europe sucks. It's like stepping back in time 30 years. No tech, no food, no chains, no hotels that aren't mom and pop tiny. It's fine to visit, but that's about it. Europe is basically Stone Age. They don't even have McDonald's. Ah, disgusting. Trust me, I have traveled to many places. By which I mean none. Bride found groom being breastfed by his mother in the toilets before the wedding ceremony. What the hell? What? Can you imagine this actually happening to you though? Holy crap. The internet is horrified after a groom was caught by his bride hours before the wedding being breastfed by his mother in the toilets. And some people have said that what he did was worse than him cheating. I mean, I have heard of mommy issues before, right? But I think this takes it to a little bit of a different level. Holy shit. I don't know about you, but I feel like they might be milking this story a little bit.
What do you do?
I'm a astrophysicist.
Okay, I'm a Gemini.
Yeah.
You know it's a banger when like the cut camera is just awkwardly silent.
Ah, that's beautiful. They have so much in common.
Wait, so how big are you though?
Like 6'4"-ish, lol.
No, I mean like in bed. How big are you?
Still 6'4"? Just sideways?
Women and their math. It's so difficult, I will never understand.
How much is 5K in dollars?
That's 5,000.
No, but like in dollars.
Yeah, it's still 5,000.
Bish! I know it's 5K, but how much is it in dollars? What is not clicking?
I feel like communication is very important. Yes.
Little Bumblebee, you shouldn't be in here. Don't be silly. Don't make me get Stoner to shoo you out.
I got divorced last year, and part of the financial agreement, my ex-wife and I agreed that I would keep my cryptocurrency asset while she got the lion's share of my pension and other investments, and we split the family home. When we negotiated last autumn, the crypto market was riding high, and I was convinced it would go higher still. But following the recent crash, my digital assets have more than halved in value. I am now considerably worse off than my ex and worried about my financial future. She says I only have myself to blame and won't discuss the matter further. Can I go to court to renegotiate our financial order? Well, probably not. What is this? Crypto NFT bros taking L's in divorces as well? My god, maybe there is hope for this world after all. How did she move where her hair was growing from? Look at this first picture. Second picture. She's probably some alien cyborg. A new favorite tweet from a man.
It's so complex. Maybe you just, I don't know, comb it differently.
Hair. The mystery of humanity.
Excuse me, I didn't ask for whipped cream.
Oh, you didn't ask for whipped cream? Did you say that at the register?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that this isn't your drink. So if you could, kindly sit your ass down, and I will call you when your drink is ready.
Okay.
Thank you.
He said one too many Karens that day. Oh my god, that was just the last drop in the bucket.
I also love the fact that she turned on the camera before confronting, basically hoping that there was gonna be trouble and looking for it, and then posting it for some reason. But then I guess the posting was for like, oh my god, look how rude this person was to me. But she turned on the camera before me coming up, so instead of asking politely, she was actually looking for a conflict, unless it's staged, of course, which is also very possible, but that's just a very funny minor fact. 31-year-old Connecticut lunch lady arrested after having naughties with 14-year-old boy and sending him nudes. Imagine a story about a male school employee having naughties with a 14-year-old girl, and the news article ends it with eyeballs. It's kind of weird, right? It's a little bit of a quirky bias. Maybe you know, maybe don't diddle with 14-year-olds. Maybe that should be like a good end of the story here. No?
Looks like somebody wants their stolen coat back. Wool is for sheep, not for people. PETA.
PETA? You know it grows back, right?
They're not just a permanently nude sheep. Come on now.
One of these kids complained that her childhood was stolen. Guess who?
Okay, it's a bunch of children. Then the bottom right. Oh my god, what point could she possibly make?
That's like the most depressing captcha ever created. Oh my god. That is so sad. It's like, click on all the buses, click on all the hills, click on all the exploited children, Jesus Christ, Captcha, calm down.
Why do ball earthists deny the existence of water mountains?
I am almost scared to ask, but what is a water mountain?
Water mountains are what ships disappear behind in the sea. Ball earthists are just too stupid to recognize them or acknowledge them, so they claim it's evidence of a ball earth.
Do you have any evidence for these water mountains?
Have you ever seen a ship disappear? Water mountain.
What do you mean? I mean, I guess you could argue that the water goes up a little bit more when there's like a tide or something, or if you mean like just really big waves, but what do you mean a water mountain that is just there all the time, like an actual mountain? What do you mean? Remember when everyone knew pro wrestling was fake and they finally admitted it, and the fans didn't care and continued to watch anyway? Well, we're almost there with politics and the media. Almost there? I would say we're way past that point. Everything just feels like a crappy reality show nowadays. Ah, the future.
What?
The neighbor grabbed my ball.
He grabbed your ball?
Yeah, he grabbed my ball.
What?
Do you mean basketball?
Yes.
Don't you think you could have said that in a better way, like the neighbor touched my balls? Wait, that does sound weird. Alright, the neighbor's playing with my ball. Why'd you leave your balls out?
What the fuck?
It just gets worse.
I don't leave your balls. I don't touch your balls.
What the?
It just sounds weird. Go get your balls, man.
Can you say fondling with your... No. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. Ancient archaeology on the world. A 7,000 to 6,000-year-old burial of a young woman, aged around 20 when she died, and her newborn baby from Via de Bec. By her head there were 200 red deer teeth, and the child is cradled in the wing of a swan with a flint knife at its hip. It's thought the pair died together in childbirth. 7,000 years. Even Denmark didn't know it was Denmark. Oh, the lies we get from science is amazing, you see? Because Denmark didn't have the name Denmark 7,000 years ago. This skeleton is fake. My brain is voluptuous.
How did they took the picture 6,000 years ago? Science and lies. Oh my god, that makes so much sense, Courtney. I also think it's so weird in dinosaur movies that they somehow had a camera back in the dinosaur ages. Oh, the iPhone wasn't even released then.
Maybe it's possible if you mentioned 60, 70 years ago, but 6,000 years? Not possible, man. It's fake and so-called story.
Story? You mean fiction? Oh, dear God. I think the best description I've heard for stuff like this is scientific illiteracy. It's like when you use a logic that is very obvious that it doesn't work. For example, do you really believe that Denmark was just a void? That nothing could have existed in Denmark before just we, as modern humans, happened to name that part of the landmass Denmark? That doesn't make sense. Why is that an argument that, oh my god, can't be real because Denmark wasn't named? Adults who still drink milk, are you okay? Unless you're a hungry baby, drinking milk is its own unsettling behavior.
I know the solution to this, man, because milk has a lot of calcium, but is absorbed better if you smoke it. Get your own milk vapes today.
Oh! It's time to get rid of the pool. It just sinks like a stone. Okay, nobody's actually doing anything. Okay, just get in. You're gonna get wet. Just come on, save the dog. What are you doing? God, I don't. Everyone is so like passive. Okay, at least I got it out. Okay, that's good. Okay, the other one goes in. Fine. All right, and then we're no. I went from being like legitimately upset at the people in the video for not rescuing it faster, but this is really funny when it jumps in again. Oh, it's so stupid. In regards to the tweet about teaching kids how to do a bracket, I taught them about filling out a bracket. There wasn't any gambling involved, just trying to do something with kids, sports, and math. It's being viewed as grooming. I am sorry if doing that was wrong, it wasn't my intent. I'm going to be taking a step back for a while. Getting accused of grooming children has me extremely upset and distraught. This industry is rough and I need a break. Hold on, they were accused of grooming for teaching basic statistical math? I mean, we use dice in statistical math examples all the time. What are you talking about? We learned probability with dice. Was that also grooming? Was the lesson plan sponsored by casinos?
People are out of their minds. Seems like a weird thing to cancel people for. I would argue, as someone who's studied a lot of math and also been a teacher, I would argue that teaching things, how statistics work, and even to an extent, like how gambling statistics work and the math behind it, is very good for making informed decisions. I think you are much more easily sucked into something like gambling, for example, if you don't know what the odds actually are or struggle to comprehend them. So, I don't know, this is such a weird thing to get upset about. Well, what? Ohio cops are accused of dressing patrol horses as KKK, but sheriff argues they were meant to be ghosts covered in sheets with their holes cut out for their eyes. Look at that. Oh my god. Of course it's Ohio. Where else would it be? Oh, good old Ohio. Ghost horses. Nice. So if you park in front of a fire hydrant, they might just smash your windows and run it through your car. Honestly, kind of deserved if you do that. Yeah, I think that's pretty good karma. I think that's pretty good karma. Ah, that's so good though. That's so good. They just don't give a shit, do they?
Do you know why we can fly a helicopter on Mars but can't turn on a light in Texas? Because scientists are in charge of Mars and politicians are in charge of Texas.
Scientists are in charge of Mars? What do you...
Huh?
Man, the lines of logic today aren't even lines. They're just like weird, squiggly, flibberderbenhergendurgens.
When a child first sets foot into school, he is presented with a globe, book of dinosaurs, stories of the moon landing, photographs of the Titanic. The brainwashing starts early. Those darn dinosaurs, they are poisoning our youth.
What do you mean? What do you mean that the opposite is? By this list, I'm assuming that the Earth is flat. It's like 2,000 years old because dinosaurs aren't real. The moon is just a pancake floating in the sky, and the Titanic is fake because boats aren't real. Moving on. Domino's Pizza literally spent over 50 million on ads promoting that they had donated 100k. We live in a time of spectacle, not genuine substance. Corporate America promotes how much they care while exploiting everyone in their path. Yeah, that's basically just classic greenwashing, to be honest. But I guess it makes sense. Corporations mainly just pulsate profit, so when they do this, it's mainly for PR, and of course they would advertise it, so it's not surprising, even though it's disappointing.
My 18-month-old son built this. I told him good job and then took half of it. He cried, so I told him that's socialism, don't let him bring it here. He looked at me dead in the eye and said, "Not in my America."
Oh yes indeed, and then everyone in the Starbucks clapped.
Your 1.5-year-old is sitting and having political commentary over his oversized Lego pieces. Why do you do this? Why do you try so hard to push your babies for like your weird agendas? This so will stop. Man hires prostitute from dating site blorp.com and his daughter turns up. A man hired a prostitute to come to his hotel room and answer the door was his own daughter.
Yee-ho, come to this dating app. It's a very good dating app. It only matches you with family members. Yee-ho, keep those genes in the family. Refine them like a nice old family tree looking like a ladder. Oh yeah, baby.
If you think the dating pool on some dating apps is small, then you'd run out of swipes too fast. Try the family dating app. There's like only 4 matchable people in your area, and you really shouldn't match with any of them.
Anyone explain how does the mirror know that there's an object there?
Oh, okay. I see what the confusion is.
Look at this. Oh my god. How does the mirror know that that's there?
That's creepy.
Yeah, because the paper is in like the way of the thing, so the thing itself doesn't have a correct straight line to the mirror. The thing though is that it reflects in all angles, you know? So if you're standing here next to a mirror that is flat here, the bouncing can happen like this as well. Right? There's actually a picture of this in the comments. So let's do that so I don't have to draw it myself because my drawings are awful. Light reflects at the same angle from the imagery perpendicular dotted line. Angles may not be reflected perfectly because this is freaking MS Paint. The solid lines are the light that you see the egg. So you can see on the picture the egg on top of the paper is reflecting to the mirror and then to you. So you can think that if you can bounce something like a ball, doing doing, from you to something else in the room, that's basically the same direction that the light can bounce as well. So you're not seeing the egg because it has a straight line into the mirror. You're seeing the egg from the side where it's going slightly like this, and then towards you from the mirror. That's how the light is bouncing from that piece. But it also feels like such a trick question, doesn't it? Like if you haven't drawn these kind of things in school or in physics, like it's such a trick question. Like how can it be there? Like there is nothing here. The paper is in the way. The mug shouldn't be able to travel here to the mirror. But you know, it's just traveling to the side of it, and then the light is bouncing into your eyeball. So that's how it works.
Planets aren't real. You heard me, and I have proof.
Oh, okay.
In the Bible, God specifically only created the sun, moon, and stars.
Okay.
Nowhere in the Bible will you ever find mention of planets.
Maybe because we didn't have astronomy to that extent back in the day, you know.
In Matthew 24:29, it talks about how those stars will fall from heaven during tribulation as well. The best part is that I know exactly what kind of angels these were. These angels are referred to as Galgalim, and they're described in Ezekiel. This is a great
yeah, I had that in a video a while ago. It's like realistic angels. They're very cursed.
And now I want to show you what a star
Oh no, is this going where I think it's going?
I'll show you a video.
Ah, something in the sky looks bright and a ball. So that's an angel.
Familiar? Now here's my leading point. I'm pretty
and it's an
sure
oddly specific clip
that
as well.
all of these planets are actually just fallen angels. And it's proven across so many different cultures. All of these gods were fallen stars.
Except from the fact that you can just literally buy a telescope and look at them, no?
Nothing on earth is what it seems, but the word of God is what will always be.
The thing I don't get about this kind of logic is why are you more eager to find vague proof in just random texts than just looking at it? You know, we have images of these things. You can see them in the night sky yourself. I mean, just like reflected dots, of course, but there is very clear proof of planets. It's pretty obvious. Why go through the trouble to try to debunk it with such vague evidence? It's so weird. I don't think I'll ever understand that. Well, laddies, lasses, and lasses, I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and let me know if you want Stoner to appear in more videos. He's a very good boy, aren't you? Mwah, yes, indeed. I really need friends. Anyway, I will see you in the very near future. Have a wonderful rest of your day, because you do deserve it, and I will see you in the very near future. Take care. Mwah.